Hi, and welcome to the 2018 Paper 1 of the Junior Cert Higher Level. This is question 5 we're on. As usual, if you want a copy of the notes I'm working off, just send me an email at shanetroy@gmail.com. The email address should be in the description below. So question 5 here is part A, it's worth 5 marks. Now the question states, work out the value of 3 times p minus 4 times t to be squared. And it gives you a value of p equals 6 and t equals 5. Now the first thing you should note here, this is an expression, not an equation. There's no equal sign. So this is just them testing the skill of substitution. Okay, you have two unknowns, but you're actually told them. So the 6 is equal to p and the 5 is equal to t. So going to the answer here, see there I've just substituted in the 6 in brackets and the 5 in brackets, put that through the calculator, and my calculator gave me negative 82. Okay, as I say down here, this substitution skill is something you'll need in most questions, so it's a very, very important thing to focus on. Now at honours level, I'd argue if you're struggling with substitution, you have a choice, go back to pass. Now part B here is worth 10 marks, okay? So this is again just testing a skill, okay? The question says multiply out and simplify, you have your brackets here, a 2-term bracket by a 3-term bracket. Now again, this is a bread and butter skill. So all the testing is your ability to do what brackets do, which is multiply. Okay, you'll notice it's not an equation. You won't be able to work out what x is. You're just trying to manipulate this expression. So let's go to the answer. Okay, now usually with a method like this, it's a 2-term bracket by a 2-term bracket, which is like very, very common, but also the most common mistake or error that I see. And you have to basically remember that the 2x needs to multiply by all 3 terms in the second bracket. The second term here, the minus 3, needs to multiply again by all 3 terms. As long as you do that and do that correctly, you'll have your answer. Okay. Now what I've done here is, okay, I've written out the second, or the longest expression, okay, twice, and I'm writing the first term here in front of that first bracket. The second term here is in front of the second bracket. So all I have to do now is go left to right and multiply my terms. So let's do it. Okay, so 2x by 4 is 8x. 2x by minus 5 plus by minus is minus. 2 by 5x is 10x. Okay, x by x is x squared. Keep going. 2x by x squared. So 2 by 1 is 2. X by x squared is x cubed. That's the first half done. Second half, minus 3 by 4. Minus by plus is minus. 3 by 4 is 12. Minus by minus is plus. 3 by 5x is 15x. And last but not least, minus by plus is minus, 3 by x squared is 3x squared. Basically done. Okay, all I got to do now is add like terms. So the 8x and the 15x here can combine together, and you get 23x. That's reflected there. I have 2x squareds here and here. They're both negative, so negative 10x squared, negative 3x squared is the same thing as negative 13x squared. There's the 1x cubed, so it doesn't change. It's reflected here. And the last thing, there's only one number, so it's reflected here. Basically done. Okay, now all I've done the last step here is I put them in order, biggest power down to lowest. Okay, I don't necessarily need to do that, but ultimately somebody who's grading your paper, you want to make it as easy for them as possible. So that's the format they'll generally be looking for. It's always a good suggestion, if that's your answer, put a box around it and put the word answer beside it. Make it obvious. Okay, now I've probably said this in a different video, but I'll say it again. Make sure you're writing in blue or black pen. Okay, and if you are doing constructions or graphs, make sure your pencil is not a 5H, which is very, very, very light, but more along the lines of a HB or a H pencil, and it's well paired, so it leaves a good image. With the online marking that's going to be happening from now on, if your image isn't visible, it's going to make things harder on the grader, which is going to most likely mean a reduction of marks if they can't see your work. You have an option here, okay, and the only option really is to make sure your work is as legible as possible. So that's part B. Okay, now we have part C here, and again, this is bread and butter. Factorize fully this expression. Now this is honours level, so there's always generally a trick here, which wouldn't be in pass level, but you're trying to basically find 2 terms that can be removed from this first expression and the same term removed from the second expression. Usually with honours it involves swapping these around, but you should always try first and see can you get it to work. If I go to the answer here, okay, I've got the question rewritten here. So I'm looking, okay, I can pull D out from here and here, okay, but there's no D in this next part here. Okay, there's no common factor. So I'm going to group them with the F's together, okay, and the D's together. Now sometimes you'll try something and it won't work, and you might have to try again. But I've got the answer here, so I'm moving expressions around. Now remember, there's no equal sign, so there's no algebra. So this is just simply rewriting terms in a certain order. So you'll notice no signs have changed, and I put the DE term there with the EF term. They have a common factor of E. That means you got the D squared term and the DF term together. They have a common factor of D. So that's generally the trick you need to do with honours. Okay. Now not always. Okay. So you can't just do it and then hope that's going to work. If I look along my expression, I'll see here that okay, what's common to both these first two terms? Well, there's an E common. If you copy, there's also the 10 and the 5 are factors of each other. Okay. So I can pull out, okay, I can't pull out 10E because 10 won't divide evenly into the 5, but I could pull out 5E. If I do that, it's the equivalent of dividing each term by 5E. So if I write 10D there, and that's divided by 5E, okay, what would be left? Well, the E's would cancel, the 5 and the 10 would go twice, and you're left with 2D. Okay, so I've reflected that here inside the brackets. Now I've put it inside brackets because if I want to reverse something, and remember in maths, a fundamental rule is everything in maths must be reversible. If not, it's not true. So 5E times 2D would turn me back into the 10D times E. We do the same thing with the minus 5EF. I'm going to go over here to a rough work. And the minus 5EF divided by 5E. Okay. What's going to cancel? Well, the 5 and the E are going to cancel. So they're going to cancel. And you're left with minus F, which I've reflected here. Let's continue to the other two terms. And in the second half of the expression, there's a D is common to both terms, so I can pull that out. So 2D squared divided by D would leave you with 2D. Minus DF divided by D would leave you with minus F. Now, I'm done. Just need to express it in a way that makes more sense. And I'm basically putting the 5E plus D in brackets and the 2D minus F in brackets, so that if I wanted to reverse it, I could multiply them and go back to the previous step. Right, that's part C, question 5, and that should be the end of it. Okay, so question 6 is next. Best of luck and see you on question 6.